What up? It's your boy Steve here. Before we get into the episode, just want to let you know that some of the conversations we have might seem a bit disjointed towards the end. It's because one of the questions we got asked before we recorded the podcast, the topic went on for so long that we decided to cut it and turn it into a separate bonus episode, so that'll be coming out at a later date. So nothing to worry about. We haven't gone insane. You're not going insane. It's all Gucci. Anyway, let's go to the boys.
Right, it is. We're recording now, so
Cool.
All together
do you
now.
want to say something?
Podcast.
That's the dumbest thing we've ever done, and I love it.
So far.
So welcome back to the Wolves Don't Sleep podcast.
Season 3, episode 4.
Episode 4. First one of the 2024.
That's true.
The 2024, I just said there.
The 2024.
This is the 2024.
This is indeed
The Royal 2024.
The Royal 2024.
It's the second 24 because we were into the capitalist roaring 20s. So that's where we're at now.
I mean, this will only be the year 2024 once, won't it? So
I mean,
it is technically the 2024.
Yeah, I mean,
Depends on your calendar.
by that logic, yeah.
It's true.
I mean, you could just go like completely rogue and start having your own calendar system.
I assume, well, on this planet, unless everything breaks down into a complete, like, what do you call it?
Apocalyptic hellscape.
Essentially, yeah, like Mad Max, basically.
Give it another.
about... Ooh, how long are you going to say?
I was just like, we've got another general election coming up, so there's time. Once again, we are not a political podcast.
I was going to say, is this when I can start talking about politics?
No.
Oh, it's coming, boys.
So, yeah,
we'll let you do that one. We'll let you do that one on your own. You can have an half an hour rant and I'll just hit record.
So yeah, as you've noticed, it is once again your boys Steve and Alex, and Connor's here. And the only reason Connor's here today is because Connor was in.
Hello. I was home.
That is essentially what happened.
Connor's like our guest host at this point. Like every so often, I think we'll
guest
just
by
have
default.
You on. Yeah, we'll just
if
have
nobody else is free.
We'll just have you on because you're not a real guest because you are in Wolves Don't Sleep, and this is the Wolves Don't Sleep podcast.
This is true.
We can occasionally have you on if we feel like
I'm podcast guy 2.5.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, I only count as half a person, so if anything,
If anything,
This
we
is
have
why
two
we're a good
people at the table.
Right. So we are starting 2024 with an absolute metric ton of music news. Like, it's been absolutely insane.
It seems to be the format now. Though. I'm going to call it now. We'll start every episode with a bit of news.
Yeah, and then we'll
move on to shenanigans.
That's basically everything that we do anyway.
And
Danger close to a structure.
It probably entails some shenanigans throughout the news as well.
So, so let's start with a heavy one that basically dropped 2 days after we finished the end of year podcast. So this isn't technically new news as of 2024, but it is a fucking big one. So Joey Jordison's estate is suing Slippy K.
What?
Oh, you didn't know about this?
No. So again, I've done my usual thing where I've completely I'm going to be like fresh reaction to all this because I know fuck all.
Yeah,
what
Connor knows nothing.
Holy shit! Okay.
Right. So essentially, this is the actual quote. So the suit against them basically claims that the members of Slippy K, i.e. Corey and Clown, basically used Joey's death for profit.
Whoa.
So essentially, it basically says, after abruptly kicking Jordison out of Slipknot in 2013, Taylor and Crayon expressly promised in a written agreement to return all of Jordison's belongings in exchange for Jordan's promise to release certain claims against them. So essentially, I think basically he was like, you can have all your shit back as long as you don't kick off, which is wild. Yeah. And so essentially, because of what's happened is obviously then Joey died.
Yeah.
And they basically used it to promote.
The
Grey chapter and then the tours and everything. They were just like, oh, we're doing this for Joey.
Yeah, they made a whole...
Yeah.
Yeah, after they kicked him out.
Which is bad, innit?
Slipknot are sort of going down a road.
Yeah, they are going...
They are. Like, I obviously we don't know the internal politics of Slipknot, but it does have a vibe for just being Corey and...
So there's two sides to the statement that they basically profit. So... They probably weren't meaning to do it. You would say
if they had like no reaction to his death at all, then they'd be outside from that.
So they had fairly legit. Well, from the outside looking in, they had fairly legit reasons for getting rid of Joey. Like there's like I know that like there was some illness,
there was the medical stuff.
There was some medical
drugs
stuff.
issues.
There was drugs issues,
Yeah.
namely like his heroin addictions came back. Or
Well,
allegedly.
there's a lot of stuff, but essentially it's just like they had a good reason to get rid of him.
But
But-
I believe there were certain members that were still close with him.
Oh, yeah,
And
yeah,
it's obviously
100%.
a horrible thing that like he died quite early. So you would sort of go, Joey was an integral part of Slipknot.
Founding member.
You can quite easily say, this is for Joey. Like we want to remember
Yeah.
him. Like he would have loved doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah, again, there'd have been outcry if they didn't.
It is a funny one because also on the flip side, it could also be kind of skewed that Jordison's estate are essentially going for a money grab.
grabbing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Americans call it ambulance chasing, don't they?
That's more like lawyers and stuff, but yeah,
but that's what I mean. It's a bit of like there's an injury, there's a claim.
Yeah,
Kind of
that's basically that's it. But yeah, so it's not a great start, and once again, the Slippy K news cycle continues because a good chunk of our news segment for this podcast is every other week. There's a goddamn Slipknot story.
Slipknot drama all the time.
Like, just shut up, put your mask on, and play the songs that we like.
I
And stop charging us £70 for tickets
Or over £100 for tickets.
or £100 on resale because Ticketmaster are the worst people in the
I mean,
world.
that we could do an entire podcast about all of that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, we covered me and Steve covered a little bit of the Ticketmaster
so
thing
there's
last time,
nothing-
and we'll leave it there basically.
Yeah.
Right, okay, let's go. Let's carry on the list of big old things. I'm going to go through the music ones first, and then I'll come back to the other random stuff that I found. So the one that basically broke like literally overnight over the past couple of days is Rage Against the Machine have broken up again.
Again,
They reformed to do a couple of shows, didn't they?
yeah, they will.
Were they still going?
Rage
Like,
Against
I'll be honest,
Rage Against the Machine. Whenever they reform to do a couple shows in inverted commas, like they're not writing any new material.
No.
No, they are getting
They're
together
go-
to play those shows.
They're going back on stage,
that's
like, and I love Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
But I'm
Gotcha.
never under any illusion that they are
They're
fully
back.
that they'll ever fully reform, especially because it ended on basically Zach
Just going, I'm
just
out.
going. I don't like you guys anymore. I'm out.
I
See
mean-
ya. I don't like doing this anymore.
Although, given the current state of play, some new Rage music would be absolutely on point.
Listen. They need the time off to absorb everything that's going to happen, and then they're going to come back with a banger of an album.
No, then probably not. Let's be real.
Or just
Realistically, people want to just go see them live to go watch Bulls on Parade and Know Your Enemy and
bounce
killing them.
around.
Yeah, but still.
and obviously killing in the name.
But compared to like the System of a Down reunion, which was a bit mid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like if Rage Against the Machine actually put the effort in and dropped a new
yeah.
album, it would be absolutely.
But Rage
Oh!
would make sure that it was just as good as their old stuff.
This is the thing. Like, on the slightly more cynical side of it, they don't necessarily need to enjoy it as much, particularly if they are coming in it purely politically.
Yeah, true.
Which, it being Rage Against the Machine, I can see it being, particularly this year coming up.
Yeah, but
Right.
that's basically it. But the thing is, they had shows booked and everything, and they've all just got.
they've just cancelled it.
Yeah, so
was
every-
there, was there any
that is a
reason
bit messed
given
up.
as to why that they're
No, literally,
Cancelling
it
shows?
got announced by the drummer just putting on Instagram, going, "Yo, sorry everyone, I don't really want to do this, but we're done." That's basically it.
okay.
Just like soz bye.
So,
No, I
so
can't.
internal arguments again is
Yeah, it's
it's
probably-
probably gone back to similar reasons to why they split in the first place.
Yeah, they probably just.
Which
it's
I
just-
get, but when you've got commitments of doing shows and
Yeah, but
I mean,
if-
because it'll be big shows. As well.
It sounds really cynical, which is the ultimate irony, considering that what Rage Against the Machine are and stood
Stand
for,
for,
is they probably make enough money that it doesn't matter. It generally
this is
doesn't.
it, yeah.
Because if it was like this will ruin us financially, they probably would have carried on and done the shows.
Yeah.
But I think they're fine. I generally it's nothing. Or to be fair, with the way that Zach probably is as well, he probably doesn't care. He probably just does not care.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there you go. Sucks, I guess, but whatever.
We're starting off the year strong.
Yeah, we're starting to
We
get
really are.
Moving on to more music industry shenanigan. Basically, everyone had a bit of a panic last week because all of Paramore's socials just went dark. Like they all got wiped and everything, which is
Oh, they did a Slipknot.
they did what a very common thing where you just wipe your socials and stuff. So everyone did a bit of a panic, and I was like, well, there's no way they're dropping off that tour and breaking up because the main support for Taylor Swift, for Christ's sake.
I mean,
That
if you
is-
want a bloody money ticket, that's it.
That is it. Especially because
yeah,
considering
absolutely.
that we know people who have tickets to that Taylor Swift tour, and I do not want to publicly discuss how much money they paid for those tickets.
Disgusting amount.
It's not cool. But they did get, like,
although apparently Taylor's show is actually worth it.
I mean, to be fair, like
apparently, like is it still her era's tour? Or
yeah.
No,
I've heard incredible things. I've heard like
it's like a 3-hour experience. Isn't it?
And like she single-handedly went around the whole like strike of the actors and filming and stuff because she went, I will pay you whatever you want if you do this work for me. And they went, yeah, right. And because she's like got more money than God.
Pay people properly and they'll do their jobs better.
Mental concept, isn't it?
No.
Yeah,
Taylor Swift single-handedly beating capitalism.
Say hello to my new tactic of subtly slipping in political things.
I'm watching you, McLean.
But yeah, so basically but then they came out and went, no, we're not breaking up. Basically what happened is they've finally been released from their 20-year record deal by Atlantic.
Oh, okay.
20 years. Do you want to know how old Hayley Williams was when she got signed? 14.
Well, so Atlantic being as was Fueled by Ramen, which was their initial deal.
Yeah. So, but the fact is, like, they signed a 14-year-old girl in Paramore. For 20 years. That's insane.
Everyone knows. Well, anyone that's into that music knows the stories behind like the record deals and everything. And Paramore has always been Hayley and whoever's in her band. And those were
because a lot of it was in like Hayley's dad and stuff. Because that was when the two original members, like the drummer and the guitarist, quit, and they were like, "Oh, everything sucked because Hayley was the main thing." Yes, of course she was.
Yeah.
You're just some random white dude. Hayley Williams is an iconic woman.
Although Zach, the original drummer, is now back in Paramore.
Oh, is he?
Yeah,
he
rejoined like a year or two ago.
Yeah.
And
that's sweet Taylor Swift tour money.
But to be fair, I'm really glad because he is a sick drummer.
I mean,
he was incredible.
That's cool. But yeah, no, it's just when I saw it, I went, a 20-year cut. And I was like, Jesus Christ.
But particularly that young as well, when you don't really know what you do. I mean, obviously, it'll have been signed for her on her behalf.
But it's not gone very bad, has it?
Well, no.
Paramore are one of the biggest bands.
It just like this was a case of just a record label seeing the talent in Hayley
and being completely right.
Absolutely.
But here we are. And also was the reason why a load of girls had orange hair in the mid-2000s. We know someone who did it.
Yep.
She kept changing her hair to whatever
colour Hayley Williams' hair colour was.
She was very orange for a bit. It was quite funny. Hi, Charlotte.
To be fair, I saw them live once and she didn't have orange hair and it was really off-putting.
It's like that's the thing, when you get to a point where like that is your like
it's what you
like
expect.
unfortunately, this was just passed after like the brothers left.
Yeah.
And they went from technically being a 5-piece band to a 3-piece band, where it was I know that it was like for me at the time I was like a little bit salty about it because the other two members that were backfilling those parts like the second guitar and drums were off it like on top of like a stage like at the back and you had the 3 Paramore members in front of like a huge like light wall up.
Yeah,
it was a cool thing, but I was at the time I was just like that's a bit weird, but I do get it. I don't think they were particularly like they were never in any of the promo shots like these other members.
Well, that's it. Well, it's like the 4th member of Green Day.
Yeah,
it's exactly that kind of thing. Like there's the showbiz element,
and
an image.
And in fact, actually, for a while, like Architects were like it.
Yeah.
And Architects were when Tom was alive, they were a 4-piece, and they had like permanent touring members, of which their latest permanent touring member before Tom died is still in Architects, and he is now like the main guitarist.
Yeah.
Finally,
but
because
it's not a new thing. It's like when Pat Smear was in Nirvana.
Yep. Nobody knew about that one.
He was just there all the time.
Yeah, he was just there.
But now he's in Foo Fighters.
He is, yeah.
Must be nice.
That'd be good.
Well, did you ever hear the story about the guy that almost joined Nirvana? And there was one of them. I'm going to do a quick search about it because it's like really interesting. There was a guy that basically said no to 2 bands that eventually became huge.
Oh yeah, no, I saw about that. The guy had the worst look. Like he got offered to join 2 massive grunge bands.
So one of them being Nirvana.
Yeah.
And the other being, I want to say like Audio Slave.
Fucking hell.
Can you imagine being wrong twice?
Whilst I Google it, do you want to get on with something? I'll come back to it.
Yeah. While Alex is Googling it, now for a brief word from our sponsors. That could be you. Pay us. Oh my God, not again!
Oh Amazing.
I've spaffed all over myself. Why does this keep happening?
They're not even like, they're not shook up at all.
Guys, can you pass us the towel, mate?
Where it is.
It's on the sofa.
Oh,
it's
is it
on
on
the sofa.
It's on the sofa, right? Okay,
I'll get it.
okay. Connor's on it.
I'm trapped behind cables and I'm covered in beer. We're professionals.
Yeah, professional magicians, not professional podcasters.
Fucking- Did I tell you that? Because you know, I told you about that. I work with a bloke who does magic professionally.
Yes.
I told him the story about how we refer to ourselves as professional magicians.
Yeah.
So now this lad he joked that he's going to start referring to himself as a professional musician.
Oh, please.
Yeah,
I'd love it.
He's the lad who's doing the magic show for Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Oh, sick.
Did I not tell you
forgot
that?
about that. Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I've been offered to go do this thing for Ronnie O'Sullivan. I went, yo, let's go.
Yes, mate.
He is sick as well. He's a good lad. I do like him. Okay, we'll move on to.
Okay.
You found it.
I found it. So it was. Oh no! So it's Soundgarden.
Oh, fucking
and
hell,
it's
so
their-
even more.
And it's their current bassist who toured with Kurt Cobain's band early, in like a roadie like role. So he was essentially a tech for Kurt Cobain.
You mean you?
Yeah,
He was the you.
but he was a tech for Kurt Cobain, and I think was asked to join Nirvana in like the early stages.
Yeah.
And I think said no. But basically, there is a story where I think it was basically there was a guy that almost joined Nirvana, and I think he did end, by the looks of it, he did end up eventually joining Soundgarden, but I think he turned it down originally,
Yeah,
and then Soundgarden got huge.
He realised his mistake.
In searching for this, however, you guys were like this. I came across another article.
Go.
The moment when a young Dave Grohl almost joined GWAR.
Yeah! Because everyone's ever been in GWAR. Oh, could you imagine if Dave Grohl was in GWAR?
Yeah,
I absolutely can.
The thing is, I reckon he could just go and join GWAR now because it doesn't.
God, yeah.
Because it's GWAR.
Yeah.
So
Dave
this,
Grohl,
so,
like
thi-
he would
so,
care.
so this came out in
What?
This came out in 2021, and it's an interview with Rolling Stone and Dave Grohl, and he said GWAR were looking for a drummer. To read more, as a drummer, you don't want something that covers your face fully. You want your arms to be free. So I was like, cool. When did he say?
That is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
as a drummer, he'd be fucking brilliant.
So in an answer to it, he goes, and I talked to their guitar player Dewey about it, and he's like, it's great. You get to design your own costume, and as a drummer, you don't want something that covers your face fully. You want your arms to be free. So I was like, cool. So I started kind of drawing this thing. At the same time, GWAR was a band that would draw like 700 people, which is huge.
Do you know GWAR have been going since the 70s?
Yeah, I know.
GWAR are old. Like, they are like, it's mental. I love
They're an
GWAR.
institution.
I love GWAR so
really are,
much,
yeah.
man. They are one of the best.
So I'm trying to find the bit in the article that says why he wasn't.
It's just one of those, isn't it? You probably just, like... Because GWAR are based in Pennsylvania, whereas I don't think Grohl's from there. I think that's probably what it is, because Nirvana were from Seattle. So I think it might have been, like... too far over.
Okay, all right. So here's the thing. Technically, right, this is from
I know they're from
one of the
Virginia.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
not...
GWAR from Richmond, Virginia.
yeah, so
Same as one
so this is where
You're really struggling with this.
I am, but I always really struggle with it. Context, basically.
Do you want me to read it for you?
No, this. So another member of GWAR corrected and spoke about this. Technically, Dave Grohl was in GWAR for about 7.5 minutes.
Everyone's in
amazing.
GWAR!
He says he used to hang around the track with all the other guys that joined in on this. This is back before he said, we hired him and then called him back immediately and fired him. He was in the band for about 7.5 minutes. He was holding us back.
That's Guar.
That is
That is
Guar.
Guar.
I honestly, have you seen that Guar have got their own barbecue restaurant in Richmond?
Yeah, no, that seems to be
So,
a thing,
yeah,
particularly in Richmond, because Chris Adler's got one.
Yeah, I mean, it was how he's making his money because he's not making any money off his new band, which
yeah,
is terrible. I'm so sorry.
So,
Yeah, I really wish they were.
so from another member of Guar, like, there's two different sides of the story. And he basically said our guitar player was booking shows in Richmond at the time, and we had all seen Dave play with his band Dane Bramage, and later on in Scream. These are all like I'm assuming like old punk bands that Dave used to play in. He was already one of the greatest hard hitting drummers I'd ever seen. I'd still say that stands up to
Oh,
date.
100%. Dave Grohl is undeniable.
And he had started the conversation with him about joining Guar. I was stoked because I played bass at the time. Would have loved to have jammed with him. Just think he could have been working his ass off playing drums in a rubber monster suit all these years. Boy, did he make the wrong choice.
Could you imagine?
So there you go. Dave Grohl almost joined Guar.
Well, when he was in Guar,
He was in Guar.
It counts.
According to one of them, 7.5 minutes he was in Guar.
I think the problem is, I think Dave Grohl's just too nice to be in Guar. Like, do you know much about Guar?
If you
I
think,
can see him getting into a role.
but if you think back then, when this is like pre-Nirvana, back then, like a young, probably teenage Dave Grohl, just kicking about, just being like essentially just
being
like
a
bit of a
menace,
menace,
yeah.
So that would have been funny. I mean, but if
In
you
an
joined
alternate
Guar,
universe.
in an alternate universe, we probably wouldn't have Nirvana and therefore wouldn't have Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
You would imagine.
I mean, that's the trade-off.
Nobody probably would have heard of Dave Grohl, who is.
It'd just be one of the things. People would have heard of Dave Grohl. They say, "Well, me because I fucking love Guar."
Yeah, but
because I got into Guar when I was like,
but
40,
you'd probably
50.
know him as
He'd be
like a
just
ridiculous
the
stage
drummer.
name
Yeah.
instead.
Constantly, they've got like Techno Destructor and
And
stuff like that. I mean,
Urgus.
I found Guar through Viva La Bam.
This one, Flatus Maximus.
Flatus Maximus, yes. I just loved that they were just like, we're aliens who were going to invade Earth and fuck all of you. Also, Guar.
But there you go. Dave Grohl almost joined and was technically in Guar, according to this article, for 7.5 minutes.
That's amazing.
That's got to be some form of record for how long someone's in technically a member of a band, right?
Yeah, I mean that's pretty short even for us, and we've gone through like 1 million members.
Yeah.
So yeah, last one of the music one, and I'm going to go on to some like really weird news. So I know there's two more actually. So obviously, Bring Me the Horizon have got rid of Jordan Fish.
Yeah.
Although I saw the State of the Scene podcast tweet earlier and referred to it as eliminated him, which is that's a choice of words.
Yeah.
Do you want to know who they've got doing production for the new album, Alex?
I don't.
The guitarist from Pale Dusk.
What?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Okay.
So
that's a crossover I'm into.
That absolutely mental Japanese band. He's doing the production for the new Bring Me album.
I mean, not gonna lie, they are Bring Me the Horizon, so they can probably get whoever they want.
And they've
Yeah,
gone. We want.
massive
we want-
budget now.
Yeah,
They've gone. We want.
we want
you.
we want Japan.
Which, mate, Pale Dusk are mental. So
They're
like,
just insane, but
like-
it's so well done.
yeah,
That's
it's
the thing. Like,
it's
like the finishing quality is so incredible.
Oh yeah, so I'm
ridiculous, isn't it?
I haven't listened to the new song that they dropped yesterday, which was Kool Aid.
I haven't listened to
But
it either.
now
but
the fact that it's like, because I only found this out because Luke actually follows, my mate Luke follows Ollie Sykes on Instagram. I don't because I'm not really that bothered.
Yep.
And I just looked at it and I just went, oh my God. and the only other person who was excited about it was Kel because she's really into all the mental Japanese bands.
Yeah.
yeah,
So, and we were like, what is that?
I can imagine our producer would be.
Oh yeah.
He's well into Pale Dusk as well as.
Oh yeah, big up, yeah, but Ben because he's the one who showed.
Big
Yeah,
up
Ben Gaines.
Mr. Ben Gaines.
From Ye Old God Hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think
Okay.
That's going to be a great.
I'm
comeback. I wanna
weirdly
see where
here
it
for it.
goes.
I'm also excited to see what Jordan Fish goes on to do.
Yeah.
Because you imagine you get the chance to work with Jordan Fish from Bring Me the Horizon, who
Well,
was
this is the thing. Do
responsible
you reckon he's
for
going to
them.
still be like out and about doing stuff, or will sort of like go into the background a little bit and still
I-
be doing
I
working
think-
on a load of stuff?
so
He's just going to be the guy.
Jordan, he was in a band before Bring Me.
Yeah.
He was in like a weird like synth kind of like electronic
Yeah.
band
Yeah, yeah.
essentially.
I'm
And
getting Airloo vibes.
No, it was a bit,
no,
I think
it was yeah, it was like a weird vibe. I don't really hear it, but I know it wasn't like anything close to what Bring Me the Horizon was.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure how, but essentially, like, Ollie Sykes got wind of him and then just phoned him up and be like, I want to do. Ollie Sykes just went, I want to create this kind of sound. Do you want to come into the studio for the day and we can work on some stuff? To then finishing the day in the studio and basically Ollie Sykes going, do you want to join my band and we can do this full time? To which you probably would say, you're Bring Me the Horizon. Yes.
Please.
you're on Sony. Like,
Yeah.
like, and considering that they're like the cheapest band to record on Sony.
So
it's insane.
I think because of he was in a band previously and he's been active as like a member and a performing member of Bring Me, I think he will continue to perform. At least in some capacity.
Yeah, I
can see him on any number of projects.
I can fully see him taking like a big, like going into a big producer role, because it's the same as like when we get excited when we see Mick Gordon working with bands.
I mean,
it'll be like, oh, Jordan Fisher's done this. It'll be like that.
Do you know where he would fit in and would be quite funny?
Where?
Architects.
Oh, could you
Imagine him moving from Bring Me the Horizon to Architects.
I kind of want him to go work with a bit more of a left field band.
Yeah.
Like
Gua.
yes, Jordan Fish joins Gua. That is
Gua featuring Jordan Fish.
But no, like if you take like bands like or like not like massive bands like Parkway or something, but like what if you went and worked with Polaris or something?
Yeah.
Like kind of go if he starts like dipping his fingers into
Something slightly smaller scale. Right?
slightly smaller scale, and he can do, and he basically be a bit more open. Because if you work with really massive, very established bands, it becomes harder. But if you go to like smaller bands, or even if he just starts working with like really small bands or something, like if he starts,
or if he starts something himself.
Yeah.
The Jordan Fish Project.
The Jordan Fish Experience.
Yeah.
Now with 90% less Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
But yeah, so that's the thing. So that's pretty cool. So we'll see. We'll have to actually check it out.
Yeah, I've been following Jordan Fish
Whatever he does,
on
he's gonna do
Instagram for
something
ages.
interesting.
So
and
whatever comes out of it, I'm sure we'll find out at some point, possibly this year.
And I am into what the new Bring Me stuff's going to sound like with the guy from Pale does.
Yeah.
So that's
Very much
that's a vibe.
That's
I mean, it's
such a cool
a shame that Jordan Fish left because I think, as we mentioned last time, he is the reason that Bring Me have shot up so big, in my opinion. Like we said,
it's a massive.
Like we said, there's people that don't like it because they're like, oh, it's not Count Your Blessings, oh, it's not There Is a Hell or whatever. And I'm like, those albums were good, but Sam Paterno was better.
Yeah,
we've said this before.
And the newer stuff does absolutely bang. It's undeniable. But yeah, so all right, last music one.
Yeah,
and we are back in the baddiecore territory.
Oh God,
Colin, do you know what baddiecore is?
Steve explained it to me, and I still don't quite
vaguely,
get it.
yeah.
But essentially, isn't it just
it's
like
a Craig Reynolds thing?
Yeah, it's a Reynolds thing, but it's
essentially, isn't it just like
Bands of people following somebody's fit.
Yeah.
I had like a worse term for it, so we'll go with that.
It's the bands that got big on TikTok, and some of their fans are insane. So it's like Sleep Token and Bad Omens and stuff. Yeah. So basically, obviously, the people like this on the internet are like mega stans. You know, like the K-pop level. Please don't kill me. I love K-pop. And so like where they're like absolutely obsessed, and they're always permanently online.
Drinking his Korean beverage.
Yeah, I love I love the strawberry soju. It's really sick. So big up Korea.
It genuinely is fucking good.
It's really good. It tastes like jam, but it's 12%. How will the podcast go? Let's find out. So obviously like these people like putting like run like fan Twitters and stuff like that. It's like, so basically the vocalist from Bad Omens, Noah, has basically just put up one final post and he's wiped all his socials.
Oh, really?
He's basically gone, I'm sick of opening the internet and seeing my notifications blowing up all the time.
It must be stressful.
People posting my baby pictures, contacting my family members.
Whoa.
Yeah, like it's absolutely insane.
People on the internet, people on the internet are bad, but it's also a lesson to not put your kid on the internet, essentially.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
definitely.
it's very much just like, but the thing is, like, these people go I didn't really look into it properly, and I'm not wading into Bad Omens Twitter. I am already mentally unstable as it is, and I do not need to see that. But I can basically, from what I've seen on some like metalcore Twitter and stuff, which is just, people are mental, and I'm not here for it. So it's cool to like people, and it's also cool to like
There is a line.
yeah, and know stuff about the artists and the people that you like, because I know a lot of random facts about people because I have read up on stuff, because I find genuine interest, because I feel like I relate to some of the people that I listen to.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I would never go to the point of wanting to find out where they went to school and stuff like that.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't-
Go to their parents' house and things like
yeah.
Because I always imagine, what happens if someone was doing this to you?
I mean,
that. You feel so violated.
Yeah, you would. Like,
it'd be.
have you all seen my social media? It'd be they would get nothing from me.
yeah,
The thing is, Steve, you're talking to me and Alex. This is our social media.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
it.
this
So like this is it. So
yeah, I
Like,
mean,
this is the other option.
I have-
Don't ever post anything. Just start a podcast.
Yeah.
That's it.
and talk about yourself on there.
Exactly.
which is way better for my ego.
Yeah,
But yeah,
because nobody listens to it.
yeah, exactly. It's great. It's like therapy, but free.
Yeah,
But you know, it would be like creepy.
yeah,
God, yeah, it'd be
absolutely.
terrible.
Like, imagine if like we were just in Tesco and someone clocked us and then was like following us around. It would be really weird.
I mean, like, if that happens, like,
That's just Bing and Dan.
essentially, like, and we said this again, like, if you clock someone that like you're a fan of or whatever, like most of us, if you came up to us and said, "Are you in Wolves Don't Sleep? Can I have like a photo or like good to meet you or anything like that?" We'd be like, how
We'd
the hell
be
do you
buzzing.
know who we are?
But
We'd
it-
be sick.
But if it got to the point where like, you're outside my
we're
house,
not a fair like comparison for this because we
Yeah.
are nobody.
Th-
But say
this-
you're,
this is
you're
what I mean.
like a few
Like-
levels above us.
yeah,
Like
but like there's a few like, and even like there's a bunch of content creators or whatever, or like actors or whoever famous that have said it. Be like, if you see me in the street, just come say hello.
yeah, just be normal about it.
Rather than putting your phone up from like 10 meters away and just taking a picture of the
Yeah.
back of my head, come
Yeah.
say hello and like just ask.
But also on the flip side of it, because like we have had discussions with people in bands who are like quite big,
Yeah.
and they have said that like it does become hard for them just to go out for a drink and stuff. Like they like
Yeah,
because
absolutely.
there's people who are like, oh my god, it's you. Like
Yeah.
there is a balance.
Well, you mentioned on a different episode when you went to see Emil,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you kind of clocked
I was
Frankie in like in essentially what was like a bally.
yeah, but Frankie was just walking around Birmingham in a bally.
And the reason he's doing that, because otherwise if he walks around Birmingham, especially if he's going to any rock clubs, people go, oh my god, that's Frankie Palmieri from Amure.
Yeah.
Let's all crowd around and say hello to him, and he just wants to have a
Yeah,
small
Seen him
beverage
from
before
Benjamin
his
Skindred as
before his
well.
show. Yeah.
saw him playing at City, and then they were all in basement for
Yeah.
a drink afterwards. He was there for about 30 seconds because he just got mobbed,
yeah. I mean, when he did that surprise,
and he
DJ
handled
set-
it very well. I would.
Oh yeah. I mean, that's why you got me in it and all this mental
Yeah.
stuff. I mean, yeah, that was weird though, because I just like making direct eye contact with Frankie Palmieri while you're walking past him, because I was giving him a look like, you look familiar, and then I went, oh.
Yeah.
But yeah, so basically, more of the story: don't be weird.
Yeah, that's what it boils down to.
It's not hard.
Although in a different light, I once met Craig Mamet from Escape the Fate.
Oh, when he was in City, yeah.
Yeah, in Basement,
And none of us knew who he was.
Well, I knew who he was because someone else knew who he was, but sort of like I walked around, like we just had a couple drinks with the guy. We went out to the smoking area with him, and we were just stood there casually in the smoking area chatting to him, and it was like nobody knows who he. Like he had just played Main Hall,
yeah.
like he had just played Rock City,
And no one knew who he was.
and no, which was
That's
weird,
kind of
which is-
ideal, honestly.
which is weird to
That
me.
sounds
Like, it's
great.
kind of ideal because like he's in Escape the Fate. They're quite a big band,
Yeah.
but nobody knew who he was, which is probably ideal for him. Which
That sounds like a great time.
it was like
you're
a
playing all
really,
the like the big shows.
like really strange to me. But
I mean, to be fair, it's like with all my costume changes. Like when we did that Weekender, and I walk in to where all the gear was and stuff in that venue in Northampton, and there was that band who were like the ones who were younger than us and stuff. This isn't like an age hate thing, don't get me wrong. But basically, one of them was just like, "Oh, has anyone got any black nail polish?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." But at this point, I was wearing just these camo joggers and like a windbreaker because we'd been in the van.
yeah, we've been in
It's
the van,
comfy
man.
travel clothes.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
comfy
comfy
travel
travel
clothes.
We
clothes.
looked like shit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So- and he just went, "Why would you have it?" And I was like,
Well,
First of all, one, I'm a goth, and two, I'm not dressed yet.
Yeah.
And the guy was being like a bit funny with me. I was like, yeah, but it's like when I go get my makeup and stuff out, I will get you some nail polish, my dude. Like it's the least I can do. I'm trying to be cool. Like you're playing with us.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to be nice
Let's
about it.
be
And,
nice.
and then I boot in the door and step in when I'm in like full stage gear, eyeshadow and everything. They're like, oh, I see now. I went, yeah. I was like, I've been in a van all day. I'm not going to wear skinny jeans.
You know what? Along those lines, just reminded me of like the Craig Mamet. Escape the Fate like to wear like a fair amount of makeup, don't they?
Yeah, they look completely different.
They look completely different
Because I
on
do
stage,
remember because
and
we
that
were,
is why.
Because we were there and we looked over and went, that could just be anyone.
Yeah.
Like, especially when it's like, in...
It's just because someone that I was with happened to know who
Yeah.
what he looked like without his makeup on.
Well, it's the
because
same
he
as-
was a super fan.
I went into Rock City on a club night once. It was like middle of the week. I was with my mate.
Yeah.
And then bumped into Loz from While She Sleeps.
Yeah.
as you do. Yeah.
He was because it was like I think it was him and his brother, and basically like other people like, oh my god! And I just watched him. I was like, oh, you're right, I'm Steve. Nice to meet you. Like cool, whatever. And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
just left it at that.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not gonna make it weird.
Yeah.
Because no one wants that. So
No,
but,
that's it.
but it is what it is. His brother was dead sound as well, so it's cool. It's whatever.
Excellent.
Right, moving on to the rest of the shenanigans of the news. So one, I don't really have any info on because I couldn't be asked to Google it and I don't have it up, so we're going to ignore it. But the TLDR is that a plane door came off mid-flight.
Oh
in
yeah,
Alaska.
no, I've seen this in a few places. Yeah, it's like a new plane.
It's a brand new 737 and the door came off
Oh,
in the air.
like mid-flight.
No.
Landed,
No.
everyone's fine, but
No. The worst thing is that it was only a good thing that the seat next to the door was empty because the seat went.
nice.
Which
okay,
is
okay, yeah.
oof.
So yeah, lucky break from the seat next to the door.
Yeah, could you imagine though? Just you just sat there and just suddenly, oh, there's the outside.
But the thing I do like about the aviation industry is that this will have already been fixed by the aircraft manufacturers.
Yeah, because
they take it really seriously.
I find the whole process really interesting.
Yeah.
because I think stuff like that's like
yeah,
super
I mean the whole business of their industry is defying physics. So
yeah. So
you
I mean,
know,
looking into it,
they've
fixing
gotta-
the problem, I'm very
Yeah.
here for it. But yeah, so there we go.
There we go. TLDR.
anyone with a fear of flying, don't
Have
worry
fun.
about it.
Don't worry about
Fine,
it.
don't think about
We've
it.
not just made it worse.
But yeah, so all right, next one. You're all aware of White Claw, right?
The drink, I'm assuming.
My hot girl summer drink. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
They've released a new version
You're the only reason I'm aware of one.
yeah. This is the same.
because hot girl summer is important.
You and
Yeah,
Michael
okay.
Jones. That's it.
yeah. They've released a new version that's 0%. So it's a non-alcoholic White Claw.
What is
So it's
but-
flavoured
but
water.
But why?
Sparkling water. That's it. They've rebranded sparkling water, but it's more
Which we know
expensive.
who is sparkling water for.
Tory.
Tories and nonsense.
We might want to bleep that one.
I'll bleep the second one.
yeah, you just bleep.
It's just Tory water, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Sparkling water sucks.
It's not good.
Why do I enjoy drinking
It's-
seltzers? Not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a slight flavour to seltzers, isn't there?
I've had better ones. White Claw's not the best. The Copperberg one's pretty good, and the Bud Light one's pretty good. This is not a sponsored segment.
Okay, I kind of get it to a certain point because 0% alcohols have been around a little bit.
yeah, they're a big thing.
Yeah.
They don't make sense to me, however, because right, and here's my take on it: because 0% beer does not taste good.
Well,
Yeah, no. I will argue. Okay.
I understand exactly where you're going.
So here's my point. Soft drinks as a whole usually taste better than beer.
yes.
Oh yeah.
You don't drink beer purely because
For the
it
flavour.
tastes like wheat and hops and
Okay.
water.
Let me give
There's
you.
an alcohol content.
Let
to
me
it.
give you a different angle on that. So this is just my opinion and my experiences and stuff. So obviously, I'm a man who does enjoy a nice beverage. He
Yeah.
says lifting
and
you up
spilling all over the
and
table.
spilling
Yeah,
all
yeah.
over myself on the table.
No, I've not gonna think wrong with beer.
Oh no.
It's just that there is a secondary reason for drinking beer.
Oh yeah, no.
I mean, again, we could probably argue that's the primary reason.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
The
so
alcohol
so
to
the
get
0%. So the 0% soft drink version
Yeah.
of beer doesn't make sense to me because why would you not have in a pub especially?
Okay.
Yeah.
Why would you not have a? This is my opinion. Why would you not just have a cheaper nicer tasting drink
Okay,
that has zero alcohol in it.
Let me give you a bit of insight and stuff. And this obviously this isn't everyone's lived experience, but this is my lived experience. Obviously, the first point was I do actually enjoy some beers. Like there are some beers I'm generally like. I was like, I'm like, that's a tasty beverage.
Along the lines of like a craft beer and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Tastes good.
Yeah. But the main thing is why you'd want a non-alcoholic version is that I'm a man who has spent some time drinking non-alcoholic beers, especially as you know when I was on my antidepressants and stuff, and I wanted to basically cut out drinking altogether. Yeah. But there's still the way that obviously like I used to rely on alcohol as like a coping mechanism quite badly, and so what I did was to kind of like it's because then your brain gets used to the taste of beer because then it then goes oh then we're going to get the drunk feeling
That means
and
it's going to do the thing. So it just
so you have the non-alcoholic beer, so you're still kind of dealing with that internal like chemical process in your brain, but you're not getting drunk, so it's helping deal with that. Okay. Because like now, if I was off the non-alcoholic beer, I'd take it. It won't bother me because it's still dealing with that same process. That's basically like that's my experience of the non-alcoholic beers.
Yeah, it's just association with the flavour.
Yeah, exactly.
So it lessens that blow of not drinking.
Yeah, and also like if you're in an environment where like people might get a bit judgy for you not drinking, but it looks like you are.
Yeah, that's definitely
for me that you're in the wrong environment.
Well, yeah.
I mean that's a deeper conversation, but you are correct.
That is a deeper conversation. If like people are going to judge you for not drinking, then
they can
go. Yeah,
fuck off.
Yeah, because obviously like
not drinking.
If people couldn't tell, I don't drink.
Yeah, Alex is the straight edge one, and the babysitter.
And if you're going to sit there and whine at me for not drinking, I am just going to leave and go home and go to sleep because that's where I'd rather be.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not a big deal. Everyone's allowed to do what they want. If you're going to be a dick about it, fuck off.
Yeah.
But that's my logic.
I do understand the other side to that as well.
Yeah, because there was a lad that we used to hang with back in the day when when we were in our first band and we were like 15, 16 and stuff.
Yes.
And basically, because obviously when everyone's like young teenagers and people start doing underage drinking and stuff, he'd go to house parties, but he didn't drink at all. Which is impressive because he was one of the most mental people I've ever met.
Yeah.
He used to basically find an empty beer can, rinse it out, and put Coke in it.
Okay,
but this is like a 15-year-old kid at a house party.
Okay, so he's trying. Yes,
we're talking about judgy environments, teenagers.
Yeah.
Teenagers I can understand a little bit different because there's the social aspect. Like when you're a teenager, you know less better.
Yeah.
Than to and
you can't handle the shit. You don't know.
Yeah, and there's a lot more socially going on there.
Yeah,
whereas as older adults, suddenly I find myself caring less about the social aspect.
And also, it really doesn't matter. Like to be fair, like when we're in the pub and stuff, I just order a beer because I can. Like if it got to a point where I was just like I can't be asked to drink something. Like we have done it where you've been with me and we've been in Spoons and I've been hanging out my arse.
Yep.
Or I'm just not feeling it today. Yeah. I won't smoke. I'll only vape and I'll just have like a pint of orange juice.
Exactly.
Like no one cares.
There's two things that I will say is a dick move whilst you're out at an establishment that serves alcohol is the guys that do drink that say something about the guys that don't drink in a negative way.
Yeah.
And then there's the complete flip of that, and I won't stand for this either, is the guys that don't drink that go around and preach about the negative the negative stuff about drinking. Like
Absolutely.
As long as drinking is not a problem for you.
Yeah.
And you're not essentially like a complete problem to the people around you.
That's
absolutely go wild.
Yeah, that's what it all boils down to. It's
just don't be a dick.
Yeah, golden rule for life. Just don't be a dickhead.
We've said it so many times on this podcast.
Yeah.
Just don't be a cunt.
Yeah, that's basically it. I mean, but obviously, like we have had experience.
Don't be a dick. Do be a dick.
We have had interactions with people who take it too far and can't control it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And funny enough, we don't associate with those people anymore.
And well, there's one final thing that I will say for me is that drinking should never be, or like being drunk should never be an excuse.
Oh, 100%.
No, 100%.
So that's where, again, being a problem to those around you, it comes down to self-control.
Yeah, I mean, because obviously,
if you get to the point where your behaviour is being blamed on alcohol, then
you're not in control of the situation. You're not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
Learn to control it.
and the one
learn
thing
to control yourself.
and the main mindset change that I had from when I went through like my recovery and stuff, and my depression and stuff, is I went from drinking just because I was depressed, to then I went, when I managed to lean back in, and basically I could have fun without drinking. And it was fine.
Yep.
But also, I don't drink for the sake of drinking anymore. I can drink to have fun. Obviously,
That can be a slippery hill to try and climb. To get out of that rut can be very, very hard.
I'm not gonna lie. The first couple of months fucking sucked.
Yeah.
But that thing is like,
But you made it a long way, man.
oh yeah. Like, but it's.
Get the soppy part out of the way. Like you have done really well.
God, this
like,
feels like
I have seen. I've been there.
Bitch, you wanted therapy, you're getting
Oh
therapy.
God!
both Connor and I have seen you through that journey
Witness
from when when you were what I would call probably your lowest.
Yeah.
To where you
Oh,
are
I
now
think definitely so.
is huge bound. So like, fair play, man.
So like there is like an in-joke and stuff with like my main goth lot that I hang with. That I do drink a lot.
Yeah.
But the difference is, if I'm drunk, like when I was completely smashed on Christmas one night, and we were doing shots of vodka in the kitchen. But what did I do? I just went and lay down and went to bed.
Yeah.
That was it. Like I
You
was
were,
smashed, but I was like I wasn't a problem.
So your control there is that you were already in your own house.
Yeah.
And about 10 feet from your bed.
Yeah. And to be fair, we were just stood having a laugh, and then we had a cigarette. Went, right, let's call it and go to bed. And that was it. Like there wasn't any like major issue. And like the dumbest thing that I do now when I drink is I just post lyrics on Instagram.
Yeah, that's fine.
But it's not like I'm not doing it for any reason. It's literally whatever I'm listening to at the time, I go, the people must know. And that is essentially
Well, that's what Twitter is for.
Well, it's
whatever is on your mind. If
Stream
you want someone to know about it, just put it
No.
on Twitter.
The problem is when Spotify did that thing where you could literally select the lines of the song that you're listening to and share them to your Instagram story. Game over for my entire Instagram. So suck it up.
I'll be real. You're not the only one in the band that does that.
Oh yeah, no, it's me and Big are so bad.
Mr. Big Fudge Bigley, right, posting his sad metalcore lyrics. We love you, Big, but you post a lot.
I mean, the worst thing is when I look at it and go like if it's like a certain mosh call that I'm like, this is fucking hard, and then I look back. I did this last night because thanks Beth for all the Jaeger bombs. You bin. I did this last night, and it was like the mosh call for one of the Gloom in the Corner songs, and it's just like, I wish I had taken my life instead. And then it goes into like the hardest drop, and I look back and went, oh, that looks like I might want to kill myself. But no one's...
to be fair,
in the context of like 10 p.m. like 10 a.m. the day after.
You know the before you could share them off Spotify things, and like people would post like really sad song lyrics on Twitter.
You mean
without any context? You kind of look at people and go, "Are you okay, mate?" And then they're like, "Oh, it's just song lyrics," and you're
Steve, are you okay?
But no, everyone just leaves me to it now. It's literally fine. And also, like all my Instagram captions are just song lyrics.
But we know, like it's a measure of how far you've come. Going back to this again, because we know that we can just leave you to it now without really that much worry. Well, like, we don't, Connor and I, or like anyone else, don't wake up in the morning after Steve's been posting on Twitter going, "Are you okay, mate? Like, do we need to send someone round?"
I mean, to be fair, it's not as bad as when I was drunk and trying to beef with what's his face from Maroon 5. That was.
I'll tell you this now. That was an ambitious beef.
That was an ambitious beef. I mean. I've also not been blocked by BBC Introducing either, and now they've shut it all down. So I never got to finish my beef with them either.
Yeah.
Play metal, you cowards!
Right.
Only the Nottingham one. Every other city seems sound. It's just Nottingham BBC. Cowards. Hate breakdowns.
Yeah, fair enough. I was about to name the guy then, but it probably doesn't matter.
Yeah, probably doesn't matter. Right. Okay. So. We went from White Claw to
that was a big tangent.
Right. Okay. So now
to finish off that, I really don't get non-alcoholic White Claw because it is just
sparkling water. No, what
it's
it is a genius move by the marketing department.
Oh yeah.
Do you want White Claw but don't want to get drunk? Have our sparkling water that you could get from any other brand.
And how much do you pay per can?
Double the price. I mean, a can of White Claw's probably like £2.
Yeah.
So it's
for 220 ml.
Yeah,
they're tiny cans.
Yeah, 200 ml, something like that.
That's why I only ever get them in spoons because it was like 3 for £5, which is
that
works out.
That works out.
That's a deal. Because I'd order them to the table, then we just go home. So I have like walking home White Claws, which is sound in the summer. Can't wait.
Oh, don't worry.
But yeah, so it's what it is. It's just Oh yeah, the towel. Oh yeah, because Connor's about to.
Preemptive beer spill.
And now for another another message from our sponsors.
Another sponsored segment.
Oh, fuck.
I'm really not sure what has happened to those beers.
I really don't know what. They've been sat in your fridge.
They've been sat in my fridge since New Year's.
And then I got them out the fridge and left them on the table while we were setting up everything.
Yeah, they've been sat on that table for an hour.
Yeah, also, fun fact about the podcast today is, because obviously there's three of us, and when we first had Connor on, we had my Focusrite interface and Alex's Focusrite interface, and it was
a really janky set.
It was a really janky set,
and we were sat on a sofa.
And we were sat on a sofa, and I put a picture on my Instagram, and Sid, who does work in audio, shouted at me, and I went, look, you just got to do what you got to do, and then we went...
Does it work? Then don't complain.
It worked. And then we were like, oh, but we might have to get a new Focusrite from our inputs, and then me and Alex realised something really, really silly. We have spent an absolute shed ton of money on our new live rig, which contains a massive 16 input-output mixer, which we are now currently...
Which has a USB interface attached to it.
Works smarter, not harder.
This massive Mackie mixer that we forgot that we could use, and now we're using it to record a podcast.
So now we're going through that, and it seems to be going, okay, so Sid, if you're listening, Is
this better?
This is better, right?
Please tell us in the comments below.
Also, love you, Sid, but I've not spoken to you in a long time.
Yeah,
so please.
I miss you, Sid.
I miss you.
Anyway,
Also,
right.
speaking, just before we move away from the mixer, is this the first proper professional use of the mixer we've
yes,
had for
it
the
is.
band?
Yeah.
Yes, it
really
is.
cool.
The thing that we bought for live use is now being used in the podcast first.
I love it.
It's the most Wolves thing ever.
Yeah.
We just refuse
We're also
to do it.
using 3 channels out of the 16, so it's a bit overkill. But
So, if you want a guest,
Yeah,
let us know.
if we could have 16 people on a podcast.
yeah, we did say that earlier.
Utter chaos.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
I think it'd be a laugh. Okay, so now, final news segment.
Final news segment. Cool. Almost an hour in.
Apparently, there was aliens in Miami.
Oh no.
No.
I'll let you take this one, Steve.
So, Captain Conspiracy Steve.
No.
Captain Tinfoil Hat.
Okay. Level with me. Actual news stations and stuff have reported on this instance.
Yeah, but Fox News is also technically an
It's
actual
not-
news station.
No,
so
but it's like local news websites and stuff for Miami. Okay. Let me level you the story.
Right, okay.
So apparently there was a massive police incident in the middle of Miami city centre.
I did see this.
See.
But I wasn't taken in by the conspiracies.
Yeah, but no. Okay, but level. I don't know how true this is, but the thing is, they said there was like a massive street fight, like gang violence and stuff.
Yep.
But we live in this social media world where everyone films everything.
Yep.
Where is the footage of this fight? Where is the footage of the street fight? 'Cause
Behind the numerous police cars.
No,
that were there.
but people would have been filming the police cars.
Yeah, but
get
if you saw the pictures, there's, for whatever reason, there's like 50 of them.
Yeah, because
coming from all directions.
Yeah. So you're telling me there was this massive quote unquote incident that required a heavy police presence.
Yep.
And no one filmed anything. But then other people who were there saying that apparently there were just aliens just walking around Miami. Obviously, I don't.
I mean,
So-
Florida man sees a lot of shit.
Florida man.
So what probably happened is that there might have been like an alligator somewhere that looks like an alien.
No, okay. I realize.
I'm assuming we're talking bipedal,
Great.
okay.
Yeah,
okay.
like proper, like apparently they were just like, but people have gone, okay, if it wasn't aliens, where's the footage of the incident that apparently happened then? That's basically what this is. It's very much just
that is a fair point of people will film
any
civil disturbance.
everyone
So,
films
these
everything, and
days-
you're telling me there's no footage of this incident that happened.
So
but people are saying aliens.
my theory is that this kind of stuff probably happened all the time. Like the street fight stuff, probably in whatever area it was. America's a big place, and there's some bad areas in America.
Yeah, America's a big
probably
place,
happened.
potentially very
Probably happened all the time, and if if this is happening on like a daily or like a weekly or something like that, you would look outside and go, "There's a street
they're
fight.
scrapping again.
I don't really care. I'm just going to hide inside in case someone shoots me."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Particularly
is
the US,
that kind of thing. So the only reason there would have been phones pulled out if there were actually aliens there, and given that there's zero footage, probably means that there was nothing there.
But there would have been
don't know,
footage of
yeah.
everything else. That's okay.
So my point is is that if it happens on a regular thing, like if you lived in an area where there was a street fight every day between a couple people that were just on something, you probably wouldn't.
I
pull
get
a
where you're
phone
coming
out.
from, but there's also like fucking sites like World Star Hip Hop where I've just seen fights of just anything and everything.
Yeah,
This is
Yeah.
all I'm saying is I think it's very weird that we live in this. This is the entire point. I'm not saying it's 100% aliens as much as I want it to be aliens 100%. But I'm saying it's very strange the fact that people film absolutely everything, but this is the first thing that's happened that there's no footage of. Like,
I wouldn't necessarily say that it's the first thing that's happened that there's no footage of it. We don't know that this is the first thing that happened there's no footage of because there's no footage of other things that have happened.
This is such a...
We are going in circles.
We are leaving this and we are moving on. But I just wanted to let you know.
All I'm going to say is it can't be aliens yet because we need World War III first and then the Vulcans will land.
God damn it, McLean! Okay, so that's basically it. Right, so...
I think the final segment we have is that...
No, I've got one more bit that I remembered, but I do need to go pee and get another beer. So you guys just talk amongst yourselves or something.
Okay.
We've never had like an official like I have to leave. Normally I just like sneak out or something, but this is quite hard because of the setup.
Okay.
This is very true. Yeah.
To be fair, go pee. I'll edit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Steve is going to go pee right now.
Try and go to the window.
No.
I know you should look at the window.
Steve is going to go pee right now. We will rejoin when Steve is back because the next thing I have to say because Steve announced he has one more bit of content.
Why would you go through past all of us rather than gap?
the cables, McLean.
Just step over them.
I'm scared.
Steve announced he has one more bit of content before the final piece, and then announced that he had to leave. So
yeah.
We will wait until Steve gets back.
We are back.
Steve is back from doing his thing.
From doing the urination.
So yeah, before you went away, you've got one more thing before we move on.
This is something that I wrote down because I remembered it, and it was supposed to feature on when Connor was on the last episode he was on episode 2.
Okay.
But I forgot because we were just chatting too much.
We were just chatting too much, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But also the thing is, I have no idea if Connor remembers this because it's from when we were at secondary school.
Chances are probably not.
Do you remember when we...
Do you remember?
When we were all dragged into the... before the sixth one got knocked down, they had that massive theatre stage hall bit.
Yeah.
Where we played our first gig as a band.
Yeah, very much do.
Yeah, so mine and Connor's first ever thing on stage was we formed a band with another bloke that we were in school with. And
everyone forms bands in school though, right?
Well,
it's just everyone else who just plays the instruments that you need.
We wore masks.
I can't say anything about that, but
but I think it's like once again we're now in a band that are far too OTT aesthetically, but it's never stopped.
So that's where it started.
We did have originally we had an original which was not very good.
It's terrible.
But we also did a cover, but we got told we weren't allowed to play the cover after we did sound check. Do you want to know what the cover was? Prison Song by System of a Down.
Oh no!
Apparently, telling the head of music, "Time I crack my smack my bitch right here in Hollywood" was not authorized. But when you're in year 9,
I would imagine. I mean, even going towards sixth form, you probably wouldn't be allowed to play that in school.
We did smash that cover up pretty well, though.
Did?
Yeah, surprisingly for like 350-year-old blokes.
It was just the original, and that's in massive air quotes that was basically for whom the bell tolls.
Yeah, it was basically for him the bell tolls.
Everyone in school that forms some form of bands has a terrible first original song because nobody knows how to songwrite.
Yeah.
And they always have
literal
a
children.
put together cover that you're not allowed to play.
Yeah. I mean, we did cover a lot of Sepultura and
at least
us,
well. At least us metalheads,
yeah,
and heavy metal and emo guys.
We actually ended up getting in beef with another band in the year. Like the guy who was the singer and stuff. He was sound. Ryan. He was sound. But the guy who was the drummer. He got
the best drummer in the school.
Best drummer in the school.
Drummer in the year.
He got mad envy of Connor because he took music at GCSE, but then obviously
he
Connor.
thought. So we used to hang out in music.
I love it when Connor actually starts beefing on people. It's so good.
It's not really.
Connor has the best beef with people. That's why.
It's ridiculous. So we used to hang out in music blog. Just what it was, could go in during breaks and stuff and hang out and play music. So us messing about over a lunchtime decided, do you know what? We've got these two kits. Let's combine it into a double bass kit. This guy comes in.
Well, it also cut to while that was happening. At that point, we covered a lot of Darren from System, his new band, Scars on Broadway.
Yeah.
A lot of that stuff
New
was
at the time.
Was new at the time. A lot of that was quite easy to play. So we ended up playing that, and we also did Refuse Resist by Sepultura and Roots Bloody Roots.
Yeah. Okay.
Because at that point, I was rhythm guitar and vocals. My guitar skills aren't amazing, but we could knock out a couple of Sepultura songs because Max Cavalera isn't that good of a guitarist.
We were kids in a music room having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was sound.
So there I am with these two like kits next to each other. You are a drummer as well. You
Yeah,
know
yeah.
exactly how we've done it.
See-
like one kit with the 2 toms on top of it, one kit with the 2 toms on top of it,
yeah.
2 floor toms on this side. Dead easy.
Double gig. He looked sick as hell.
It was great. It barely fit in the room. It was amazing. Yeah, no, and then we were there just having a good time, and then this guy comes in and was like, "What have you done? I'm going to go tell."
No. What happened? No. What happened was he comes
broken
busting out the
something.
room. He goes into the room. He comes busting out and goes, "Some of the year sevens have fucked up the drum kit." So we went,
That's what it was,
So we went,
yeah.
"Oh God, what's been damaged?" He went, "Look at what they've done to it." And we went, "That's a double bass kit, my dude. We did that." And he went,
it was
his mind was blown by the
He didn't-
concept. of-
Yeah, it
what-
was like it was just kicking off completely.
But also, what? To be fair, what young drummer, right? When you first get into drums and you start learning all of these drummers, what young drummer doesn't go, I want every single drum there ever
Him,
is?
because he was the indie guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and also like when we had our first gig in our first band, and we mentioned we actually had an actual gig, not playing the school talent show.
Yeah.
We had an actual proper gig.
Yeah.
Playing in a proper venue. Granted, it was supporting a Metallica tribute band, but
Still good.
it was
Still
our
good.
first gig.
Yeah.
He went,
Horse.
and we went, "Oh, we've actually got a gig as a metal band," because they already didn't like us because we were metal. You know, those pesky grabs with their screaming and stuff.
Oh yeah. Can't
and-
hear what they're saying.
Yeah. And especially considering that at that point the band consisted of me and Connor, who went to school together,
Yep.
and 2 people from outside of school. So they're like, "Oh, but you're in a band with other people that you've met outside." Yeah, because this is how we end up getting into like black metal and stuff, because like, we were hanging out with Cal Clark, who listened to like Mayhem and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and it's how I got into Pantera, because the guy who was playing guitar for us was like, "Yo, listen to Pantera and Body Count."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "All right, what is this?" But like,
One of the best things Lexi's ever done.
yeah. You know, he's in like a jazz band now.
That doesn't surprise me.
Yeah,
in the slightest.
but yeah. So and then basically he basically pulled upon his when smartphones were still a new thing. Granted, I didn't have one. I think I had a BlackBerry or something. I don't know. But he basically pulled up the venue's website and went, because I got the date wrong. He went, "Well, your gig's not here," and I went, "Scroll down a bit. Oh no, there it is. You can see our band name on the thing." He was livid. Especially because the most thing they literally did was play like a charity show in like Beeston or something, and like at the school talent show.
Yeah. And a couple of random ones in like the keyboard room.
Yeah, and this guy just couldn't accept the fact that we were actually being a band.
Nice.
And he was
ran
just,
into loads of those.
yeah,
before,
he was just really salty about it, and I actually don't know what he's done. I don't know.
To be fair, the guys in my class, when they found out I was in an external band,
Yeah.
because I too was in a band when I was like 16, and we were playing gigs and everything or whatever.
Yeah.
The guys in my class were like, "Yo, you're in a band. That's kind of sick, actually." Like they weren't into like the metal thing or anything like that, but they were like,
But it's
"Yo,
just
you
like
you playing gigs and that."
cool
And
as
also on your little throwaway comment of best drummer in the school kind of thing, I could also claim that because my school was so small that I was the only drummer. So by default, best drummer in the school. Until this one guy joined in like the year below me. Like he joined when he was in like year 10. Came in and he was like he had done like all his grades and shit like that, and I was just like,
he was like graded.
oh yeah, he was like he
yeah.
was like an actual good drummer. I was like, okay, never
That's
mind.
fair.
I was
That's
like,
fair.
okay, never mind. I'm not the best drummer in the school anymore. I was like, I'll give it to this. Like, he was the second drummer in the school, so like,
He's got the paperwork, and then there's like us when we went to Matt Garsker's drum clinic,
Oh, yeah,
and
no,
our
yeah.
brains melted.
yeah.
That
Matt
was
Gasker-
great though.
It was brilliant, but Matt Gasker is just different.
Yeah.
Like he is just a whole different
On
game.
on the back of that one, he's like, when you were at school and stuff, have you ever had it now? Because obviously, like, we are adults
Yeah.
who choose to be in a metal band.
Oh yeah.
How does that go down when you tell people you work with that's what you spend all your time off doing?
See, I only choose to tell select people.
Yeah, I mean, and a few of those were in our music videos.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like in today's world, like, because you probably wouldn't look at me at work and assume that I was in a metal band.
Not really.
Like,
no.
I
Like,
generally
No, not if
like,
you're not
like these days, my office is like fairly relaxed in what we like wear. So most people come in like jeans and a t-shirt or whatever and like a hoodie.
Yeah.
Like it's not really like a suit and tie kind of place. It never really had me. So there's plenty of times where I'll be wearing a band shirt. Like I wear my Malevolent shirt quite a lot. My
the
Ocean
closest
Sailor.
you get to knowing.
The closest I get. But my office is also quite small, and there are quite a few people there that are into metal.
Yeah.
So when I eventually say, "Oh, I'm in this band," because there was a long time where I've been working there where I wasn't quite in Wolves. I was like teching for you guys, so it was actually a bit easier to say, "Oh, tech for these guys," and then
Which is also a strange thing to say. I was like, yeah, so in my free time, I help a band do things.
Yeah.
but you guys were my mates. I just like my hanging out with my mates were going to
Doing that.
going to your guys' shows and hanging out with you before and like helping you out and shit. And it eventually,
yeah.
But I digress. But so when the people that I've told that I'm in a band are very few people at work, but there are some. The response I usually get is like, "Oh, sick! You should send me some of your stuff." And most people probably assume, and you guys probably get it too, is that it would be like it was like some like generic like rock band or like whatever. They don't really know what to think. They're like, "Oh, are you drums? Are you singing?" I'm like, "Do you guys sing or whatever?" I'm like, "We don't really sing."
I was going to say that's a bit more difficult for you to answer. Of like.
Yeah.
Explaining it to like non-musical people what you physically do.
Yeah, what I do in this band and like the general public we haven't really like announced anything officially yet, but I don't really care that people.
Yeah,
it's happening now.
If you're listening to this podcast, you're already very aware of who we are as people.
But basically, when I generally tend to just call it playing the laptop.
Yeah,
and they go. Okay.
Yeah,
and
that's probably the best way of like describing it to people.
It stops the conversation quite quickly, which is good for me because I don't really like talking to people besides you guys. But I play the laptop and they you can see their brains going, "What the hell does that mean?" I won't follow up with a question.
I have referred to you as a synth player.
Yeah,
because it's easier to say, "Oh,
it's like the common."
If people dig a bit more, I just say like synths or electronics or like backings or like certain things. But saying play the laptop, A, is funny.
Yeah.
And B, people you can see their minds turning and go, how the hell do I deal with this? I've never heard that answer before. And then they just stop. And you go, cool. All right, moving on. But
what about you, Connor? Or do you just not tell people other than I'm taking time off to go play drums? Bye.
I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, that's what I use on my holiday and everything for.
Yeah.
It's band stuff. But yeah, no, it's largely just people like, "Oh, that's cool."
And that's it. Right.
Yeah. It's cool and like, I want to come to shows with them. They're never off on it.
So like my manager was one of the first people that knew because he has to approve my time off. And he goes, "Oh, what you general
doing?
question, what are you doing with your time off?" And I go, "Oh, like I'm in a band. We're gonna go play a gig." And it's also very useful him knowing because of the nature of my job, I have to be like on call every other week, for like very minimal things. But I have this deal. It's basically me and my manager swap the on call. I'm not going to go into my job because that's boring.
We don't talk about where we work anyway because we're not narcs.
No, but essentially, me and my manager have this deal that if any of us are like. Either of us are like off and using annual leave or whatever, like we cover each other on this on call schedule. But sometimes our gigs fall on a Saturday. So I basically say to him, "Can you cover me on Saturday afternoon because I've got a gig?" And he understands that we've got a gig. I'm not going to have my stuff with me, so that like my own calling basically involves remoting in.
Because we've been there, but like your phone's gone off and it's made a very very loud noise, and you've got lads.
To be fair, I have changed the noise now, so that it's no longer no longer loud, but it still wakes me up in the middle of the night.
It's no longer the emergency broadcast noise.
Essentially, I can do it from wherever. So realistically, I could do that, but I'm at a gig. I may not have signal.
If it happens,
I'll be in a venue, whatever.
Venues are notorious for having no signal.
Yeah, exactly. They're concrete boxes that just completely block everything, and there's so much going on. But yeah, that's why it's useful for him to know, and he understands that, like.
Which is sad. Yeah. If you're like every other Saturday I'll do it, but there's one day I can't do it.
And he's completely fine with it, which is brilliant. Which is and if he needs to take some like. And the reverse of that is that I'll take anything off of him that he needs me to take if he's got a similar thing where he's like, he likes to walk with his he's got a dog and he likes to walk with it. He's like, yo, I'm off in like Derbyshire somewhere that's gonna have like zero signal.
In the peaks, yeah.
I'll be like, yeah, sure, fine, I'll take it for an afternoon, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to like.
It's only fair. Yeah.
It's the same as like some of the stuff that I have to do. Where, like sometimes I have to leave early to go to gigs or like play gigs or whatever. Like depending. But I also offer to cover. I think that's
that's it.
Especially the fact that we're like the weird grabs who have to do very very weird things with timing, especially like load-ins are like 3 PM or something stupid.
That's it.
It doesn't fit into.
I will actively
9 to 5.
bust my ass. I've done it in previous jobs when I used to work in retail and stuff, where I actively covered other people so they could cover me. Do you remember that weekend we did where we did Norwich and Derby in the same weekend? And I was at work the morning before we would play Derby, and I had to cover loads of stuff to basically get that off.
Yeah.
But I will bust my ass for this band. That's it, 100%. But yeah, I just remembered something before I go into like how it's like with me being in an office corporate environment, which is way bigger than Alex's.
Oh yeah.
And me being one of the few designated grebs, but apart from me and another lass who's I've not actually spoken to, but she's like a proper like trad goth.
Yeah.
But obviously like there are some people I do hang out with at work who are into alternative music.
Yep.
And like one guy rocks with like a Lorna Shore shirt, and I'm just
nice.
like, wait.
Yeah.
But I'm also mates with him shockingly.
We're gonna be friends.
But it's like, but everyone knows I'm the one man who's in a band. But I remember it's like, do you remember we were on that podcast, which I think is now defunct? I think the guy basically became a dickhead and no one wants anything to do with him.
Oh,
do you remember when they used to do that thing where they had bands on and they'd ask them about their day jobs? I think you and me were on it, and I think Bing was, or I think it was just me and Bing.
Oh,
yeah. And he also went, so I've got XYZ from this band. And I go, so before we get into the conversation, so what are your jobs? And I listened to a couple of episodes with other bands in the local not scene and stuff, and they go into full detail about what they do in their day jobs. And I basically briefed all the boys before we went on. And I was like, I'm going to put it the fuck down straight away. So I went, so what you doing in day jobs? And I went, it's not particularly important, actually, because we're here to talk about the band. What I do in my day job is completely irrelevant to why I'm sad on stage. And the guy had no idea what to do with himself. He completely went, okay.
Because it's like it provides context for like various, like us just chatting shit here.
Yeah.
It can be context for like having like
it's got,
talking about IT crowd and then that being relatable.
Yeah, it's context.
Yeah.
I'm happy to tell people what I do for a job, but I won't tell people where this job is and who I work for. Like,
and for the nature of what I do, it's easy just to say I work for a big business in a corporate environment.
Yeah.
It's just easier.
Easy as hell.
If you know me, you know what I do. I'm happy to talk about it. But in
And
terms
let's
of
face it,
this,
most of the things we'll be talking about are relatable to anything else that's in the
I work in an office. That's all you need to know.
My equivalent is that I do things with computers for a software company.
Yeah, that's all you need to know. And it's like either we'll give you a basis of the region we work in, but we're not going to tell you who, and we're not going to tell you what we do exactly, because that can get us into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Because
it's also separate from what we're doing.
It also doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever I do in my day-to-day 9 to 5 so I can pay for my mortgage and fucking band shit has nothing to do with the band. I only have a job because capitalism exists.
I'm also under the impression that I can imagine 90% of people that probably listen to us don't give a fuck.
Either A, don't give a fuck, or B, already know us and know where we work.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a
So,
non-issue. But so as we mentioned, the whole IT crowd, goth to boss.
Yeah.
I have been a manager, and now I work in a corporate environment where I just work in a big, massive fucking office.
Yep.
So obviously, when it's dress down days, I do have to double check what shirts I'm wearing.
Yep.
Because as you've seen some of my clothing choices, some of my shirts have naughty words on, or or like the ingested shirt I got, which has
There's
got
dressing down within a limit.
Dressing down never means fully dressing down.
I mean, the fact that I wore this downbeat shirt with a burning church on it, once got away with it, was impressive. And the fact that no one clocked my Chugaboom Brexit hoodie, my Chugaboom Brexit Leavers hoodie, no one clocked that.
Ironically,
which I also chose never to wear again. For a few reasons. If you know where I work, you'll get why that's that.
If you know who Chugaboom are, but what a brilliant hoodie!
What a solid
idea that was.
Solid hoodie. Move.
Again, British humour, because we're the only ones that do Leavers hoodies. With everyone's names on the back.
But yeah, so, and obviously, like, over the years and stuff, I even told one of my supervisors within like my first month of working at my job, I'm in a band,
And they went, oh, well, what would you do if you got offered to go on tour full time? And I went, even if it'd be nowhere near the money I'm making here, I'd be out the door in 3 seconds. You wouldn't even. I'd be like a Looney Tunes smoke shape.
Yeah.
Like I'd be gone.
100%.
Because it's the only thing I legitimately care about. I'm here because it's a job. I like my job. But this is not what I want to do.
I'm similar. Like if the opportunities come up for me to be able to essentially just pay rent and feed myself, but from making music, absolutely.
I would no longer take part in the capitalist nonsense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so essentially, but obviously, like sometimes I have rolled up to work the next day
shit jobs.
after paying a gig, and I've still got eyeshadow on, and obviously I do wear like my nail polish and stuff at work, and like
it's always a fun day when you turn up to work at Panda Eyes.
But it's also the worst because obviously I've started wearing body paint and stuff, so I'm sat in the office and I've still got bits of black on my neck. But the difference is because it turns out not everyone in a big workplace environment, they might not understand the whole metal thing, but they are actually like, oh, that's pretty cool. Because I had it on the last 2 work Christmas nights I've gone to, I've gone in full goth gear. So I mean like eyeshadow and everything.
Full embrace it.
Like loads of like all my massive chains and my rings. And I've never had anyone say anything negative to me, which I think is pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that's a good sign.
And when it's like some of the higher up managers think I look sick as fuck, and they've told me.
Nice.
And then I was chatting to one of them because she does ask me about the band and stuff. Because people do genuinely ask me about the band, and I go,
it is a rarer thing.
And some people think it's quite funny. It's like, oh, what are you doing the weekend, Steve? I was like, oh, I'm just filming a music video. I'm just like, yeah, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go... And it's like, oh, are you the vocalist? Like, no, I shout at people. And they're like, all right, fair enough. Yeah. And so I had it at the last Christmas... the Christmas party just gone, is one of the managers asked me, like, how the band was going. Yep. And I was just like, oh, do you want to see pictures from our photo shoot where I'm covered in blood? And they were like, yeah, go on. So I showed it her, and she grabs one of the other managers and went, come and look at this. So there's a picture of me covered in fake blood, in like full makeup, and they just went, that's really cool.
Yeah, no, it's a good reception.
I've really cemented myself as the office
from goth to boss.
Yeah. So like it's actually I'm in the office on regular days. I'm just sat chilling. But then like other people do go, oh, how's the band going? How's this? And I think that's really cool compared to when I worked in retail, and my manager basically sat me down once and went, a lot of people your age would be privileged to have a job like this. Once again, a supervisor in retail.
I'm sorry, fuck yourself.
On 19 grand a year, where I'm on call 24/7, and I couldn't even go to a gig, and they'd be like constantly calling me. And I go, I'm going to a gig tonight. Don't call me. I won't be able to hear you because I go to metal shows. Yeah. And he's like, oh yes, about this tomorrow. I'm like, my brother in Christ just text me.
Yeah.
And he basically, I got sat down by one of my old managers, and he went, well, a lot of people would be privileged to have a job like this. Once again, I'm nearly about to name drop the company, but you could go fuck yourselves.
Yeah, let's not name drop.
Let's not name drop.
Let's move on.
Yeah, but then he went, well, at one point you're going to have to choose between your band or your career, and I went, and then suddenly
that was chosen a long time ago.
And then suddenly I was, we've made this decision from day that we decided we're just really weird people who want to make music for a living. Yeah. And that's when I started looking for a new job, and now I've got my boring office job, but hey, I get time off to go play gigs, so I don't give a fuck.
This is it. This is it.
And I realised I never even got to the fucking point that was raised.
No, I'm still waiting.
Right, okay.
I was thinking that earlier. Right. So back to your school days.
So I think it was year 7 or 8, everyone was dragged into the 6th form performance hall because a previous student had gotten into a boy band. Do you remember this? So think like, like your British boy bands like Take That, Blue, stuff like that. With all the choreography and the lip syncing.
I've actually...
Come on, please tell me you remember, so it's not a fever dream.
I've only ever seen one of those types of band live, and it was a band, and it was a boy band called V. If anyone remembers them, because they supported Busted.
Bring up that V band, because the thing is, I can't remember the name of this band, and if it ends up being them, that'd be really weird.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
But yeah, so essentially what happened was we got pulled in, and they made this big, massive song and dance. Like, one of our previous students of this school is now in this boy band, and they've come to do a special performance for you all because they're probably going to be famous soon. And then they stood on stage and did like an entire...
That's V.
No, it wasn't them.
Okay.
No, it wasn't them. And so essentially they just got signed, and they were like apparently going to be this big thing. And we had to watch them perform. We were forced to watch this boy band lip sync
on stage. And to be fair,
I do not remember.
this is before I even got into metal or anything. But I thought it was cringe as fuck at that point, at like 12, 13 years
That
old.
is such a weird fucking thing to do. I'm not gonna lie. I don't remember. I remember Elliot Minor coming
Oh no! Okay, we'll move on to the Elliot Minor thing in a second because that was
because I never actually went to that. But I remember it being a thing.
All right, we'll move on to that in a second. But yeah, so I remember that happening. It was like 4 blokes like doing like full dancing, choreography, and lip syncing and stuff. And they made this big, massive deal out of it. Thing is, I have no idea what happened to them. I don't remember the name. I assume that nothing happened to them.
Absolutely not.
And
If you have if your audience, your captive audience, is pupils from your old school, if that's the best you got,
And the best thing I thought about is like, given what happened then, obviously we're in a band now. I reckon we've made more money than they have.
to point that out, that is really not saying a lot because we've not made any fucking money.
No,
We made like so.
We're not like,
Yeah,
saying
we're not
anything.
like-
we've like a lot of our merch orders for the past couple of years has been paid for by previous merch sales. That's
Yeah.
stuff like that.
We've made like
Right.
things like that have been self-sufficient.
Yeah,
but
in terms of like
grand
actually
scheme, we are.
Nobody's ever made a living off of
We have spent
the money
far
that
more
Wolves-
than we've made.
Oh yeah.
Nobody's ever made a living off of the money that Wolves Don't Sleep has made over the career.
But
Yeah.
the
I
concept,
mean, what
the
were we
fact
saying
of,
about this new rig that we're running the
this
podcast
new
through?
rig. But yeah, so it's more the fact that I thought about it. I remembered it. I went. So theoretically, we've actually had a longer career and made more money than these 4 blokes who allegedly got a record deal, and we were forced to watch in year 7 and 8.
I don't remember.
You know what would be a
this.
shout? We need to ask Diddy because Diddy was at school with us at that point.
Yeah.
I reckon he might remember.
Probably old enough.
message him.
Message him now.
Old enough to like actually.
Well, yeah, because when
He'd
I
be-
when
yeah,
I was
'cause he was
friends
like
with
a year-
Connor,
yeah.
when me and Connor started hanging out in year 9, Diddy was in 6th form.
Yeah, exactly. So
And when Diddy first met me, he thought I was a prick,
nice.
and nothing has changed.
I fully believe it.
But yeah, so there's the other thing. Do you remember MySpace?
I do remember MySpace.
Do you remember Elliot Minor?
I remember the name. Yeah.
So MySpace did a competition where they did this massive voting thing where schools in the country, if they got enough votes, Elliot Minor would come play your school.
What the fuck?
So
Did your school
So-
get enough votes?
5 people somehow managed to wrangle it that Elliot Minor played our school.
What the hell?
Obviously, I didn't give a toss because at that point I was listening to Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
And Slipknot. So I didn't. And this guy that I went to primary school with hit me up on MSN and went, "Hey, you're into metal?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "What kind of metal do you listen to?" And I was like, "I like Slipknot." I was like, "Poser, that's not heavy enough." Have you heard of Celtic Frost?
You made it sound like he was like a back alley watch dealer.
Yeah, but he was like, "Slipknot, that's pussy music." Have you heard this band called Cataclysm? Got a Cataclysm, do bang. But yes, it was like that was when I got introduced to elitism. But yeah, so essentially these guys managed to wrangle it that Elliot Minor played our school. But so there was like posters up everywhere about it, yada yada yada. But because I was the metalhead and everyone knew it, some of the posters started getting torn down because no one gave a shit. And also the people that set it up, one of the guys just wasn't liked by people because he was a bit of a prick.
Yeah.
But so like all these postings about the Elliot Minor gig coming to Oregon, all of the blame ended up falling solely on me because I said Elliot Minor is shit. Granted,
So obviously, you're going this one-man campaign of going around the entire school ripping all these things
I
down.
didn't care.
Yeah.
Granted, Parallel Worlds by Elliot Minor does bang. I will admit that. It is a good song. I just didn't care at the time. I was like, I literally do not give a shit. That was the gig that Guy You Hated Us played. They opened for Elliot Minor at our school.
Yes, yeah. That was
Cool.
it.
We've opened for Bloodywood, so suck my dick, Joe. We've played with Mark Defiled, and we're not even heavy. What are you doing? God, if I can remember his last name, I'd look him up and see what he's doing. I might just DM him some hate.
Or just leave it alone.
Or just-
you know?
Yeah,
I'm obviously
all that.
doing it for the bit on
Yep.
the podcast. I'm not. I literally do not care. But yeah, so this whole happened, and then I got dragged to the side once by one of the teachers and got told, "We don't appreciate that you're not getting on board with this thing that's going to help the school's publicity out." And I went, "I don't care." Granted, this was like 15-year-old me.
Angsty teenager Steve.
Yeah, but literally, I didn't care. I wasn't bothered.
I wouldn't have cared either.
I literally
would
wasn't
have been
bothered.
in the same boat.
So the punishment was I was banned from going to the gig.
Oh no. What?
So yeah,
Awful, terrible.
Elliot
Can't-
Minor
can't
played our
shit.
school. We weren't even allowed to open for them because we were a scary metal band anyway.
Yep.
And also, they were shit. They played to like 10 people.
Nice.
Imagine being in a band where you've got a record deal and then one of your tours is playing secondary schools in
That is-
England.
I'm not gonna lie. Someone offered us that gig, I'd be like, nah. Unless it was like £1 million.
If the money was good, yeah, pop
Yeah.
off. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I assume it was sponsored. It was sponsored by MySpace, so I assume that costs were covered.
Yeah.
100%.
But like, it would have to be a significant. I think it would have to be like a significant payout to
For
go
that
play
level of cringe, yeah.
to go play in secondary
Definitely.
schools. Like, absolutely. Like,
I mean, to be fair, on the flip side of that, because obviously I went to Confetti, and I said Bossman. Bossman actually got called back for their industry week to go do a lecture about being a boss man.
that's fine.
So the thing,
Well,
if it got to a point where we got
Actually,
to think like
excellent at what he does.
they would actually promote and be like, oh, Steve from Wolves, he's actually in an actual band, and could you imagine me giving a lecture at a uni?
See, but
like-
so that's
Yes,
fine because,
actually, yeah.
because Confetti was essentially university level. For anyone who didn't know, Confetti College in Nottingham basically offered like your first 2 years of university, if I'm not wrong.
It's a foundation degree. I've
Yeah,
got it.
but
It's not a full degree, but when I did it at the music tech,
It is-
it was a science of sound degree. I hate acoustics. I hate maths.
but it's
Having been on the receiving end of enough drunken speeches from you,
But-
I can definitely see you give it one.
Yeah.
But it's at the point where people are there because they care about what
they
they
wanna
what,
be,
what
yeah.
they're doing. University level or like basically post A level is okay because people are there and would be interested in what you had to say.
But I do think
You're
that's
not
cool.
there
The
for the
fact
sake
that
of being forced to be.
the fact that they actively go, oh yeah, boss man came to uni. Like I don't
Yeah,
think he
yeah,
did the
yeah.
degree, but he did the BTEC because I did the BTEC as well.
Yeah.
And they went, well, this man's actually working in the industry. Let's get him back.
Yeah, and that
Stuff like that's fine.
that's what I mean. Like it's doing that is fine because it's people that are there to do what they want to do.
To be the future boss man.
Yeah,
Yeah, to be the future boss
essentially
man.
to be.
Although you can't teach being a boss man. You're born as a boss man.
Look,
Look, yeah.
You don't choose being a boss man. Boss man chooses you.
I mean, that's how we got boss man. He chose us.
Yeah, but yeah, that's fine. Going secondary school is very much it's 90% of people
Don't care.
don't care,
Just
and
don't give a shit.
then. But anyway,
So,
shall we move on to the final?
that
section
was like
that
we've got two final sections. So
two final sections.
Well,
Multiply.
I once again whacked that fucking link up. So we've got questions and we've got 4.
Okay,
Ooh,
if
hello.
the first one is shit, can we ditch it?
Yeah, if the first one is shit, we're ditching that. I'm gonna skim them all. Like I'm gonna open one if it's shit, and then I'll skim the rest, and we'll go from there.
Okay.
So let's open it and go.
and
Are
Stephen
we
has
ditching
collapsed laughing.
Dark EOS's deathcore in its purest form, and Steve is fit. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Adam.
Okay, I will disregard that one because it's Adam and podcast alumni.
Podcast alumni Adam Clark. All right, next one. You are so attractive. Correct. Next
right.
question.
Hi, Adam.
I think you're pretty awesome. All right, cool. Next question.
These are all just like those
I
dice
miss
rolls.
you. Can we hang out? What is? All right, cool. Okay.
We're skipping this. section
Everything
now.
was wank. We're gonna cut like all of that was wank. Adam Clark wins once again because Dark AOS is deathcore in its purest form.
It is. It really is.
Moving on.
Moving swiftly
You've
on.
all
right.
ruined it for everyone else.
Right, you guys have ruined it. You're supposed to send us actual interesting stuff and not basically trying to suck my dick. I don't
And
know
not,
who you are.
and not teenage
Yeah.
drama
Come on,
skins.
what happened to that bloke who was bitching that the girl that he fancies me? That was good content. I was
That
like,
was, that was good content, and he never came back.
I still don't know who they are.
Right, but anyway,
Anyway, once again, as other content will appear at some point, me and Alex went to the Oriental shop, and we brought a load of random shit. There is some content coming out about that.
Yeah.
But also, I got us some fortune cookies.
it might already be out.
Oh, yeah.
It might already be out with those episodes.
But anyway.
it depends. So we all have fortune cookies. We are going to open the fortune cookie, and we're going to read our fortunes because that's what we do on a podcast now. We're going to
Get that ASMR.
get the ASMR right in. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, I actually can't open it. Oh no, I can. Right, cool. Right, okay. Who wants to go first?
This will end up sounding like really awful on the audio now. Connor has gone first.
Right, Connor's gone first.
Sure.
Points for genericness.
Right.
Oh, just
All right,
a bit.
come on, what you got?
It's so close to the most generic thing ever. Live well, Love lots and laugh often.
Live, laugh, love.
Yeah.
Oh my god, we've
That's what I got.
got the white girl fortune cookie.
Why is a fortune
That
cookie
is-
got
know
live,
what?
laugh, love?
I've had worse.
Yeah,
Oh my
but you know
God.
what? There are worse things, right?
That's
I'll go.
fair enough.
I'll
It
go.
didn't tell you you were about to
Don't
die.
eat into the mic, you monster.
How's it taste?
Fortune cookies are supposed to be banana flavored, you know.
You fucking
Banana
what?
flavour.
I'm pretty sure they're supposed to be banana
Excuse
flavored.
you.
All right, Google
They
it
are,
and prove me
they are
wrong, bitch.
vaguely sweet pastries.
Yeah,
I'm not
I'm
even-
pretty sure they're supposed to be
Right,
banana
okay,
flavored.
anyway.
All right, let's go. An investment in enthusiasm ought to start to pay off. What does that mean? What do you mean?
Basically, start a new hobby.
I already have one.
Or something you're enthusiastic about
Or
will be paying off.
give more effort in. I mean,
And
to be
so
fair-
basically, it's
to
essentially
be
saying
fair, you could consider what we do at the minute, being in a band, a hobby.
and an
right now,
investment in enthusiasm.
because we don't essentially earn money from it. So it can't be. We can't be professional. We could technically be amateur, but we could consider it a hobby still.
All right, so what you're saying is, as per the fortune cookie, big things coming 2024.
Yes,
All right, Sam, let's go.
I shall do mine, but it's a little bit more
do you
difficult.
want me to hold the mic for you?
Yes, I'm currently using a handheld mic. So here we
Alex
go.
is using an SM58 because we only have 2 nice microphone stands.
Right. I can take that back now, thank you. Be nice with your new colleagues. Someday they'll repay your kindness. See, this is
No.
weird to me.
You know what that is? Okay, before you go into that, you know what that is? What's the current motto of the podcast? Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick, and the game is the game.
But the fact that you actually have a work-related story is a bit spooky, I'm not going to lie.
Because in my work, I have, as of Tuesday, a new team member on my team. Expanding my team from 2 people to 3 people.
Shit.
So, be nice. To be fair, pretty nice guy.
Sweet.
Would work with again.
What's his favourite shape of pasta?
I don't know.
You need to find out.
Okay, I'll try and find out at some point. If I ever come back to you with that, then you'll know.
Like
that I
I'm
found out.
pretty sure I asked that to a few people that I
I'll
work
probably
with.
forget to ask him that if I'm not going to lie. But anyway, we move on. I think the fortune cookies is sort of like there's a bit of a theme. Obviously, this being the first podcast of 2024, I was wanting to ask people if they have. I'm not going to say a New Year's
What's your New
resolution.
Year's resolution?
I'm not going to say that because I've come to really hate the wording and the theme of New Year's resolutions because everybody has the same New Year's resolution, which is going to lose more weight, drink less, drink more, eat less, eat more.
The drink more was mine for a couple of years, but then I realised like I was getting Rolling Stones level.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I realised I needed to stop.
But it's always the same thing. Join a gym.
Yeah, it's the same generic.
Join a gym, lose weight,
3 or 4.
drink
options.
less, drink more, smoke less, smoke more, whatever. But is there anyone has any goals for the year? Could be personal, could be career wise, could be music related, whatever. Do either of you have any? Even if it's just like a small thing, like
I mean,
you want to go on holiday.
one of mine is a bit like a generic one because I am actively going to try and join a gym and stuff because
That's fine.
But like, mine is not like a generic New Year, New Me. It's something that I've been building up to. But the main reason why I've not done it in the past couple of years is because I've been dealing with my anxiety.
Yep.
Because fun fact, even though I'm a massive, loud, annoying dickhead, I'm actually riddled with anxiety 9 times out of 10. So the concept of going to a gym is very fear-inducing for me because I have been to a gym previously where I feel like I'm being watched, but then I've realised that no one cares.
No good shit.
But my other thing is like I need a plan. I'm the way that my brain works is I need to have a set plan to follow because I've been into a gym with no plan and gone I have no idea what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But luckily,
That'd be the thing that'd get me, not having a fucking clue to
so
start.
luckily I found this app that actually just like customized workout routines for you, and also some of my mates are quite into the lifting.
Yeah.
Alvi.
So yeah, Alvi.
So the advice that I have that I know people that like go to these gyms and to help with anxiety or everything like that, what I've been told is actually go to the lifter gyms, go to the meathead lifter
'Cause they'll pick you up.
bodybuilder gyms because those are the those are the nice guys that don't judge you and want to help you get better and help
they
you
want to
do
help you
things,
join the
do
club.
things right.
I mean, to be fair, the other reason
It's the bros that go to like pure gym, right? The ones that are going to judge you for doing an exercise wrong. That would be my advice: is go to one of these like
on
muscle
the, on the
gyms.
flip side, part of the reason I can go to gyms is because they're either in town and stuff. But the fact that we have a gym a 10-minute walk from where
That's
we live
the flip side.
is a big thing. But I've also got a way to counteract the gym bros. I've got my big bright pink over ear headphones, and I'm going to spend the entire time listening to Kubla Khan.
That's fine. Yeah.
So I'm going to be I'm going to be there with weights.
Caveman lift weights.
Yeah, just like
from guys that I know that I work with that in the past year have got into going to the gym.
Yeah.
Apparently, like the lifter muscle gyms are the nicest gyms to go to.
They probably are. I mean, if there was one nearby, I'd probably go for it. But the pure gym near us is like closed. And the thing is, I'd probably do it when I go.
And
like
it's 24 hours.
And it's
so
24
you
hours.
can go, like,
That
I might
is
do
the
it where it's
different
like
benefit. Yeah.
I can't sleep. It's 9 o'clock. I'm going to go lift some weights.
Yeah.
I think with a lot of it is I think I've got over a lot of that, and because it's literally there, I think I will be able to do it. But I'm
within
waiting
easy
for
walking distance.
I'm waiting for January to allow itself because obviously all the New Year, New Me people are going to be there hogging
Oh, yeah,
everything. And because I'm going to write stuff down. I'm going to make.
Don't
a
want to be
plan.
that guy, but we're going to be that guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to make a plan, and all I've got to do is do the plan. That's so. I think I'm finally in the right headspace to
Fair
do
enough.
it. Other than that, I am just going to try and start with just being more productive.
Yeah.
Because like obviously we've been doing the podcast quite frequently.
Yeah.
We've got the new in-ear stuff. I do actually want to start moving into like recording and producing and releasing like vocal covers and stuff.
Have you got anything that you want to specifically like accomplish? Because a lot of the reasons why I hate like the New Year's resolution is that it's just
so
usually like a generic, broad statement. And what I mean by that is people go, "I'm going to try and like not putting yours down," but they say stuff like, "I'm going to try and lose weight."
Yeah.
Like, what is losing weight to you? Is that like eating one less meal a day, or is it like being a couple kilograms lighter, or whatever?
In terms of me going to the gym, I do have a lot of issues like my own body confidence and self confidence,
Yeah.
which would be surprising if you see how I dress.
No.
But covering myself in makeup definitely helps, and body paint and stuff. But also, like, I want to become fitter and scarier. And also, in terms of like the other main thing is obviously we have got a lot of stuff that's going to be released this year. The EP's done, the video's done, the artwork's nearly done.
Yeah, yeah.
My main goal is we are going to absolutely smash that.
Yeah.
That is it. And the thing is, it's not something that I'm even going to actively say as a goal because I know that we're going to. Because we've done very well as a band over the past couple of years, essentially doing really cool stuff, but we've still been riding off a release that we released in lockdown.
So long ago.
And the fact that we've achieved a lot of really cool things on the back of not having much, I believe that now we have something, we're going to do a lot of mental stuff. And I think it's going to be great. Considering that our first gig of the year is with two bands that we are mates with, the Cartographer and 7th Sea. Love those boys. Played them
Yeah.
before. That's a good start to the year. And obviously, like, Bossman does manage the Cartographer, and we're mates with Harvey, who manages 7th Sea. So it's more of a mates thing anyway.
Yep.
We're going to look and try and see if any of them want to come on this podcast as well, because I think it'll be a laugh.
Yep. Yeah, yeah.
So it's essentially my main goal is to carry on expanding what we are already doing, because I think we've come up like quite well, especially since I've recently moved into my own place and I'm on my own now.
Yep.
It's a lot easier for me to feel I can just do things on a whim.
Yeah.
Especially because
Absolutely.
you literally messaged me this morning and went, "Do you want to do a podcast today?" And I went,
Yeah.
"Yeah."
And
fucking
now
hell."
we are here.
And now we're here.
Yeah.
I think that's the
And
main
we've
thing.
done other content.
And we've
today
done
as
other
well.
content today as well. I think it's like we're now in a position where we can do more on a whim. There's less thinking, less thought. We can just go and do.
Yep.
And if we carry on that energy and everything else we're doing in the band, and we've got a lot of other stupid content in the pipeline. And like the idea I've got for the next music video as well is completely insane.
That's right. You guys are going to be sick of seeing us. You're gonna be sick of
Or
what
at least,
we're
or
gonna be
even just listening to it.
That's true. But also, if you genuinely enjoy what we're doing, just tell us or tell us stuff that
Yeah.
you want to see. Like literally, there's going to be another podcast episode coming out based off a question that Barry gave us. If there's stuff that you want us to talk about, just pitch it and we'll see what happens. because-
Quite honestly, us as musicians or content creators now is
and magicians.
and magicians, essentially guys that are creative or like we thrive off of people liking what we make. We want to make music for us first, but obviously there's that hit of adrenaline you get when someone goes, "Oh, that's you made that song. That's pretty sick." And
Yeah.
you've it's all worth it for the. So if people like generally, if people want to hear or see different things from us, we want to make the content that people enjoy.
Yeah.
That's my side of it. Like there is an element of like a lot of good music comes from just making the music that you want to make to a certain extent, but there's also an element of making certain parts of things that people will enjoy, because if
it's essentially, we're doing this for ourselves, like the music that we make, and we're doing this because we enjoy it.
Yeah.
But if people resonate with it and they enjoy it, that validates what we do.
Yeah, exactly. You
And-
probably just said the same thing I did, but better.
But it's almost as if I'm a lyricist. But it's essentially, if you like what we do, but you think we should do something else, like not in like this we should do something else. It's like, I want to hear your guys' opinion on X. Like there's going to be a podcast coming out about a specific topic, and then we're then going to do the opposite of that. Give us stuff, and we can waffle.
Because, by God, we can go on a tangent.
Oh
We
yeah,
can.
absolutely.
It took us a million years to get around to an initial point I wrote down from 2 months ago.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's like we're essentially going to keep building at this because it's what we want to do. We're not doing it for like there's some people who get into bands because they want to be famous or they want to make money. We're doing this because there's very intrinsic core parts of our being.
There's also like the other side of things is that there's so many artists in like other genres of music that are completely factory
Produced and
factory produced and like just record labels just planting artists, and we're not about that. We want, I don't know where I was going with it.
We're not about it because we do it because it's who we are.
Yeah.
At the end of
I
the,
genuinely can't imagine not doing this
Again,
now.
you said what I wanted to say, but better.
The entirety of the reason why Wolves Don't Sleep exists is because when me and Connor were 14,
Thereabouts,
14,
yeah.
15, I heard Halo by Soil. I thought it was dead cool. But previously before that, I saw a live video of Iron Maiden doing The Trooper, of Bruce Dickinson running around with the big Union Jack dressed in his big red coat from the Crimea War. And I just went, whatever that is, I want to do it. And then I heard Halo by Soil, and I made a joke to Connor of we should
You know
form
what
a
piss
band.
people off at a talent show?
You know what pissed people off at a talent show? We should form a band and be metal at a school talent show because it annoy everyone.
Yep.
And then cut to over 50
Over a
years
decade
later, we are now still in a metal band pissing people
Yeah,
off.
great.
It's just something we chose to do, and it's the only thing that really makes me happy, and it's the only thing that we generate. When we play a gig, it's the only time us as a group unit of the 6 of us in Wolves, it's the only time I think we're genuinely the happiest we are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the reason we do it. We don't do it because we want to make money. I mean, making money off it will be sound. Getting if more people like us, that's sound. But we're never
Always.
gonna. We're doing it because we want to. Because this is who we are as people. There isn't something of like, we're not gonna try and like. None of this is a money grab. None of this is bullshit. We're not here to go. Every time I look at numbers and like we get likes or views and stuff, I don't go, oh my God, I can finally get ad revenue or YouTube revenue. I go, oh shit, people actually like this.
That's it. Like it's there first for me and for the people that want to listen to it.
Yeah, I mean, I did something the other week that I didn't tell you guys about because you get annoyed at me spending money on a pointless thing.
Oh, here we go.
Was it within the banter budget?
It was not.
Oh, then I'll be annoyed.
Essentially, there's this podcast that's run by some guys in, like, I think Derby and stuff, because Nicole from The Dog is on it sometimes. It's the Blood, Sweat and Beers, not really a podcast, but like a Twitch channel. So it's essentially live MTV, like it used to be the Headbangers Ball stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, I just went, fuck it, I'm going to submit snakes. And they do this thing where if you pay them, you get guaranteed view, because they had a guy from Alternative Press as the guest.
Okay.
So I went, fuck it, and I got snakes on it. I paid out of my own money, and I put snakes on it, which is a special thing, because obviously we're on a shoestring budget at the moment, because
Yeah, I love it.
mortgages are not cheap, kids. But yeah, so essentially I just spaffed £40 of my own money and just went, fuck it, let's go. And I was sat watching the Twitch chat, and these people react to the snakes video. Granted, that's like a 3-year-old video at this point.
Yeah.
And people were very receptive and said we're really cool. The guys on the Twitch stream said we looked sick and we sounded sick. And people were confused as to how I could do harsh vocals for that long, because I realized that a lot of people don't realize that when you record things, it's not all one thing, one take in one go.
Yeah.
Welcome to Studio Magic.
People have people have that.
A very weird misconception
that
of how music is made.
Well, no, people have that reaction to you because they go, "How is he so small?" And that sounds
Tiny man, big voice. Yeah. But people were being overly positive to us, and it was very nice to hear. And also the fact that these guys look really cool as well. And I was also in the Twitch chat, like replying to stuff. Like I got jokes about how I look like Chris Motionless.
Yep.
And I went,
We have
Aldi Chris
already said
Motionless,
I'm Aldi Chris
you look
Motionless.
like Aldi Chris Motionless. Yeah.
Although someone said I look fitter than Chris Motionless, which is an interesting one.
I'd recommend they see.
I mean, I've got my own eyebrows. He doesn't, so I'm already like.
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
But yes, the point is, I did it as just kind of like an additional thing, and these guys were really cool. And I did chat to the guy afterwards. I was like, "Oh, thank you for actually featuring us and stuff." And also, like, we do have some new stuff coming out, so we will be in touch soon because it was a very positive response to a bunch of people who'd never heard of us before.
Cool, that's it.
Yeah, I was gonna say
essentially it.
positive, and like that we look sick and everything like that from that video. Wait until you hear the new stuff.
Just
Wait until you see the new
That
stuff.
video is hard.
Yeah.
wait. So good.
If anyone didn't know, we've got a video coming out hopefully soon.
Yeah.
We didn't make that painfully obvious.
Yeah.
But at least the difference is we actually have everything. It's
Yeah.
just we just have to go through the rigmarole.
And to
of-
be honest, like on that, my goals are pretty much aligned exactly with yours, and I'm pretty sure Connor's would be
basically on the
similar
same-
if I'm honest.
yeah.
Like
everything comes down to trying to get this.
this is what we do. Like I have a couple other hobbies, but none of which I would care if they went anywhere or not. Like they're actually things that I just do for fun outside
Yeah.
of being in a band.
I mean, half of them we do together because we play Dungeons and Dragons together.
Exactly.
Shocker. We're massive nerds.
Yeah.
D&D podcast. Let's go.
Oh, God,
we have.
We've toyed.
Don't you worry, Mr. McLean. We have a plan for.
Good.
So coming soon, not soon,
Coming at
but
some
coming
point.
in the future on this podcast, we have planned something around those lines. That's all I will tell you.
I'll be here for that.
But you will be here for that because we plan to do it with the 6 of us.
And possibly more, maybe more people in.
I realise you probably audibly react to this.
Connor's,
I made a very big grin.
Connor made a happy
But
face.
we will leave that one there because that is as far as I have plus Steve planned.
But yeah, no. So essentially, it was like, have you got any other goals apart from be sick? And Wolves?
Honestly,
Like,
I feel like
I mean, clearly live, laugh, love.
yeah,
Thank
and
you, Fortune Cookie.
to be nice to my new colleague,
yeah.
which
Yeah.
I already have been.
And obviously, my other one is become hotter as a threat because that's who I
That's
am
fine.
as a person.
I feel like the little speech that you just did there is a good place to end. So I feel like we've been going long enough. We will end.
No, but before we finish, I think we need to really ease everyone into the new year as we started on 3. 1, 2, 3. Podcast. You're not doing it, me. You pricks!